Get down. Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Man, I tell you what, I love the fact that Bitcoin is the Terminator.
Yeah.
Arnold. And welcome back, folks. Amanda, we got a good one for you tonight. And of course, the man that needs no introduction, the most interesting man I know. His former landlord uses him as a reference. Brawnz, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. Shout out to you, Texan. The punch out intro, the countdown. Oh man, that just gave me flashbacks.
Man, I tell you, I think
classic.
most folks don't realize it was an arcade game before it was an NES game.
Yes, and I remember playing it in the arcade. I was just, it was mind blowing at the time. And looking back at that, the art still is relevant today. I love it. The wired body, innovative.
Yeah, that was one of those arcade cabinets that had one above the other. And what you saw at the bottom there was the Punch Outs game, and it was the guy fighting like you saw there. I actually had it truncated down, so we were just watching the bottom. The top was all the stats and everything.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the good old days. Popping a quarter into the machine, and maybe you last a minute, maybe you last 15. Depends on how good you are.
Yeah. Oh. Terminator 2. Oh man, yeah, that too. That just gets me really bullish, gets me pumped up. Love it. You know, who did the videos of that just gives a good analogy and perspective. And
absolutely. There's so many great Bitcoin montages out there, memes, funny clips. Got to check it out. YouTube is just chock full of it, and they do a great job. But Brawnz, how are you doing? Otherwise,
I'm good. We had 65 closing in the end of the month.
Yeah,
September.
Man, I tell you what, it's been wild. Down to the 50s, we're into the 60s, we're back into the 50s. We were going to zero? No, never. Oh. Please, whatever. I don't think you're ever going to see 40s ever again unless we hit some kind of, dare I say, the R word, recession, and we correlate with the stock market. But even if we do, it's going to be a quick rebound. Before, though, I actually start on that. None of this is ever financial advice here, folks. Take that with a grain of salt. Do your own research. Absolutely do your own research. But, and of course, before we get started on the rest of it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below there, folks. Every little bit there helps. We do appreciate you. And of course, tonight we'll be getting into the Bitcoin chart here in just a minute as per the norm. And yeah, it's definitely been a wild and crazy ride with those ups and downs. We got BlackRock, who continues to buy and stack their Bitcoin. Man, big time. They're now one of the largest holders, non-exchange holders.
Non-exchange. So, wow.
Yeah.
So, I think Kathy Woods, Spot Bitcoin, her ETF had 113 million dollars of inflows today.
Oh,
so she's trying to get into the action.
Yeah, well, she's definitely been in the action, and I don't think she's going anywhere.
Nope.
I suspect ARK and her funds as well will go ahead and continue to stack just like the rest of them. I think if you're smart, that's what you're doing these days. Now, we will be getting into also a crypto investor who took pennies and turned it into millions, and love those feel-good articles. We don't see them too often, but when they do, it certainly turns some heads. And we'll be wrapping it up with some of the talks about a lot of the airdrops that have been going on, especially on we got one now, big one on the Ton Network. We'll be talking about that and what an airdrop actually is and why they're even necessary. So, Brawnz, what do you say? Want to get into this?
Let's get to it.
Let's do it. Let's go ahead and pull up the chart here. Let me know when you see this. How does that look on the screen?
All right. Looks good.
Yeah, let's see here. We'll make sure. Yeah, so we're taking a look at Bitcoin chart. Now, that's a 5 minute. No, that's nothing. We want something. We're going to take a look. This is the hourly candles. And as you can see, for the last, call it 24 hours, we had a pretty nice rebound from 63 all the way up to 65.6, call it. And we're running right around 65,000. Now, not too long ago, call it a week plus, we were in the 50s and we were trying to understand where that bottom was. If we go back here, back on the, what is this, the 6th of September, we were hitting lows of 53, 52 ish. Man,
Yeah.
I tell you what, now folks are wishing they got in at 52, too fearful to buy back then. And now the question is, are they on the sidelines? What about you, Brawnz? You on the sidelines? You think this thing is going to level out from here? Or are we going to the damn moon? Going down, down?
We're heading into October, so I'm really bullish. I think we're gonna hit back around the 75 levels.
Okay, I think October is a good statement. Historically, when you take a look at October, the month of October, it has been very bullish for Bitcoin. Now, historically, though, when you take a look at September, it has been, for the most part, very poor. The returns for the month of September were not positive, but as it stands right now, as long as we maintain this 65,000 level, we actually may have the best September in Bitcoin history. So,
wow.
And that right now we're running about 9% for the month in the green, which when you take a look at traditional markets, that's big time. But when you take a look at Bitcoin, maybe not so much historically, though we'll take 9%. I'll take that all day long.
All day, yes.
So, but 75, Brawnz is calling it 75. I think that's definitely conservative, and there are some major calls for this to end the year in 100,000. I think that is not outside of the realm of possibility. I think that is absolutely conceivable, and in the near term, I think realistically we'll probably go ahead and continue a upward bound trajectory and 75, 80 as we approach November, the elections here in the United States. And I don't know if you saw some of the news today. We're not going to get too much into the politics behind it, but Kamala is now strongly backing Bitcoin. So she actually has said something that speaks to what she likes as far as regulation in the space. It's bullish. It means we have two candidates that are now leaning towards positivity in our space.
I would like to look in more into that. I saw the headlines on it. I kind of just glanced over, but because from what I've learned, I haven't heard her like being specific on any policies. So I'm like, oh, okay, it's just another. I don't want to say clickbait, but another headline type. But
and I agree. I think that it is a concern for especially a lot of folks in our space where our next U.S. president elects are going to lean towards. And as everyone knows, Trump's huge into space, and he's even talking about the potential of using Bitcoin as a national reserve. That's massive. But I don't know if if he's going to get into, if he could actually push that through. It really depends on where we are as far as Congress and House. Though I do think that it makes sense that we start to stack our reserves, at least a little bit in Bitcoin to start. And then, well, I don't know. Shoot, if I was president, we'd be stacking nothing but Bitcoin. Take a page out of, what is it, Argentina? So, boom, there it is. Now, take a look. Let me go ahead and zoom this back out here a little bit, and it gets real ugly real quick. But take a look at this. This is the daily candles, and And let me try and just get this as much into the screen as possible because we got a lot going on. So these are the daily candles, and this is the cup and handle that we've been talking about here for, well, shoot, it's been probably since April.
Yeah.
And the handle keeps getting extended out. Now, what that's doing is it's actually, this is this upper lip of the cup and handle here is on a slight incline. As we continue to push this handle out, this then starts to tick up, which sends our price point a little bit higher. Now, we're still calling right now, right around 136 once we get a potential breakout of this handle. And who knows, maybe even higher. 136, 140, I think is what we're saying. Brawnz, you think that's realistic still or what?
Yes, definitely realistic. When you say the potential breakout, what would that be? What level would that be? Like around like past 80?
Or right now, 80? As it stands, if we were to start to approach 72. So as we approach 72, you'll want to go ahead and get a daily. Now, I prefer weekly. Let me go ahead and even get this further down into the weekly candles. Yeah, we get a 3-day. Shoot, we get a weekly candle though, even better at that 72 mark. It's to the damn moon, folks.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, we're going to be approaching 136, 137 really quick. 100,000 is what a lot of folks are calling at the end of the year. By the end of the year, I think that is absolutely reasonable. I wouldn't doubt we go higher, much higher, 136, 140. Hell, why not 150, 175? Wow. Why stop there? But that's what the technicals are telling us. Now, let's talk a little bit more about that. Why could we go so high? Go ahead and just back out of here. We're going to go ahead and pull up an article we pulled up today. This came out about 12 hours ago. And this one is no big surprise. BlackRock continues to buy Bitcoin. They are stacking. They have over 358,000 Bitcoin worth to 22 billion US dollars. It's huge.
Wow.
They have more Bitcoin than anyone else that is non-exchange. Now, a lot of the other exchanges, I think the largest holder of Bitcoin is Coinbase with Binance behind it, but those are exchanges. A lot of that is not, that's always in flux. And of course, it's because we have a lot of users that are buying it. These folks are sitting on coffers of Bitcoin. Now, why would you do that? Brawnz, what do you think?
Well, I was going to ask, what about Galaxy Digital Galaxy or Galaxy Digital Novogratz? I wonder. I was thinking how much Bitcoin does he hold or his company hold? I mean, I thought he'd be more than BlackRock, since I think BlackRock is kind of the new kid on the block.
Let's see if we can find it real quick. Now, I think that there are certain companies out there. Now, Saylor, of course, Michael Saylor here in the United States is also one of those massive holders.
Michael Saylor, yes. I'm looking.
Yeah.
8,000. I'm not sure if that's correct.
I want to say it doesn't even come close.
Yeah, you're right.
But taking a look though, I think here. Let's see here.
Michael
Saylor, Bitcoin.
TC.
Well, I mean, his individual, though, I think MicroStrategy, though.
MicroStrategy, yes.
Yeah, MicroStrategy owns currently 252,000 Bitcoin.
Okay.
Right, so currently worth roughly around 9.45 billion. BlackRock, though, continues to buy. They are on a damn rampage when you take a look at their daily. When Bitcoin was dipping and everyone was selling in the 50s as of late, they were buying. They were buying day in, day out, nearly 5 days a week for the past, I don't know how many months. So I think the thing that we need to consider is the amount of consumption and why would they would want to do that. And I think realistically, what they're trying to do is they're trying to corner the market. They're trying to make sure that they have as much of this Bitcoin as possible. Now, you've heard the expression, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade.
Yeah.
But one would wonder, is that what they're really wanting to do here? I think it's more like this. I don't know if you've seen the TV show House of Ushers, there, Brawnz, or you folks out there, but they got a little bit different take on lemons and what happens when life gives you lemons. Let's go ahead and take a look at this clip. Man, I love this clip. This is awesome. Epic. Here we go.
When life hands you lemons,
make lemonade.
No. First, you roll out a multimedia campaign to convince people lemons are incredibly scarce, which only works if you stockpile lemons, control the supply, then a media blitz. Lemons are the only way to say I love you, the must-have accessory for engagements or anniversaries. Roses are out, lemons are in, billboards that say she won't have sex with you unless you've got lemons. You cut De Beers in on it, limited edition lemon bracelets, yellow diamonds called lemon drops. You get Apple to call their new operating system OS Lemon, little accent over the O. You charge 40% more for organic lemons, 50% more for conflict-free lemons. You pack the capital with lemon lobbyists. You get a Kardashian to suck a lemon wedge in a leaked sex tape. Timothy Chalamet wears lemon shoes at Cannes. Get a hashtag campaign. Something isn't cool or tight or awesome. No, it's lemon. Did you see that movie? Did you go to that concert? It was effing lemon. Billie Eilish, OMG, hashtag lemon. You get Dr. Oz to recommend 4 lemons a day and a lemon suppository supplement to get rid of toxins, because there's nothing scarier than toxins. Then you patent the seeds. You write a line of genetic code that makes lemons look just a little more like tits, and you get a gene patent for the tit lemon DNA sequence. You cross-pollinate, you get those seeds circulating in the wild, and then you sue the farmers for copyright infringement when that genetic code shows up on their land. Sit back, rake in the millions, and then when you're done and you've sold your lempire for a few $1 billion, then and only then you make some fucking lemonade.
Boom.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, why the hell would we show that? Well, because what BlackRock is doing is creating scarcity. They're creating the new lemon. They're creating Bitcoin scarcity. You need it. You must have it. And we control majority of the supply because we own it in our coffers. I love it.
Ooh.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, man, that scene is yeah, that deserves an Emmy.
Powerful.
Award. That scene
Very
is
powerful. When life gives you lemons, you do not make lemonade, you create scarcity.
Yeah. It's almost kind of scary. If BlackRock, like, what would the outcome be? What are the possibilities of them having the majority supply of Bitcoin? It's trying to take over the world.
Well, I mean, here's the deal, right? And that's it, right? What they do is they buy it low, and then of course they create a scarcity campaign. And then what has to happen is there is no way the U.S. government, or we'll call it the G6, will allow BlackRock to corner the market. So what will have to happen is they will have to get in. They will have to back their dollar, back whatever it is that they currently use, pounds, and they will not be backing it with gold. They'll be backing it with Bitcoin. And this brings us from 100,000 to a cool million plus per. Quick. There it is.
To the moon.
To the moon. So.
Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, just, I mean, we've been into this, but I'm still wrapping my head around that. That's yeah, just imagine that, um, just taking over.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not uncalled for, and we're happy. We're watching it. We're watching it happen right now. Those of us in the space, we see it coming. It's strange to me that still the 95 percenters, yeah, they're seeing it on, I don't know, MSNBC. They're seeing it on Fox when they're talking about market review, but they just still don't get it. They'll get it when it's too late,
It's
and
too
that's
late.
unfortunate. But if you're watching this right now, never financial advice, you better be stacking until kingdom come, because when it does hit, and it will, just sit back and enjoy the ride.
There you go.
That's it. The problem is right now, it's so choppy. And everyone in the space, or at least all the degens in the space, have been focusing in on all of these slight upticks and downticks and going hyper leveraged, getting wrecked. And realistically, all you need to do is buy and hold. It's just that simple, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Just give it some time.
It's to the point where now it's starting to see where retail is not able to like move the needle. It's institution is basically moving the needle.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a lot of influencers right now there on Twitter that's talking about how retail is not in it. Well, maybe they are. They're just getting drowned out by the massive, copious amounts of Bitcoin that is being bought by the institutions. And make no mistake, they're controlling the numbers. They're controlling its price point. There are these massive sell walls that are preventing this thing from going higher. They don't want it to go higher right now. They want to consume as much as they can, take as much of the Bitcoin out of your own pockets and get it into theirs before they decide to send this thing.
To send it.
So,
financial advice, but get in where you fit in.
Advice, folks. Absolutely. Absolutely not. Do your own research. Check it out. But I don't know about you, Brawnz. This thing's going to the damn moon, and I'm trying to absorb as much of it as I can when I can. So, there we are. All right. Life gives you lemons. Love it. Man. Love it. Love it. Let's talk about crypto investor returns. What did he turn? Let's pull this up here. He turned 1,300 into 3.4 million in just 15 days. Now we hear this from time to time. We probably see it maybe once or twice a year, at least when the news catches eye on it, when the media catches eye on it. And this lucky SOB stepped right into it, turned $1,331 into 3.4 million by investing in Moodeng. Have you heard of Moodeng?
No.
No. Yeah. Well, now they're saying that there is maybe some insider suspicions. I don't doubt it. But Moodeng token, if you want to check it out, there's the ticker for it. Hippo-based theme. I love this because a lot of these tokens have zero function. They are merely meme.
So okay, it is a meme coin, and Moodeng, I think it's a viral baby hippo out on social media. It looks super cute.
Yeah, I've seen that as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I didn't know it was Moodeng, but let's go ahead and see if I can pull up a chart on this. Moodeng.
Probably just dumped after.
Probably just dumped. I wouldn't doubt it. But yeah, I've seen this little tiny hippo in people's hands and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what the hell was it all about.
Looking like a little French bulldog.
Yeah. Well, I think that it's interesting how these have a tendency to just skyrocket the way that they do. See if I'm just pulling this up here. Bear with me. I'm actually finding a good symbol for this.
Is this a Solana?
Um,
I have to look that up.
no, let me. Yeah, I'm just trying to pull up a chart here just so we could get some eyes on it. But I want an exchange that is somewhat reputable. There's so much garbage out there right now. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to
Oh, it is a
find something.
Solana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't doubt it because what I've seen in the 30 seconds that I've tried to identify the price point, there is about 30, 40 different copycats that I can see.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Yeah. Which is always a problem in the space. I know Solana is touting 5,000 plus tokens on a daily that's being created. Yeah, most of it is absolute garbage. Now, I think that there is definitely a use case for Solana, and you and I were talking about this the other day here, Bronze. I had mentioned we were talking about how Visa was being sued by the DOJ, Department of Justice, claiming a monopoly. And kind of had an epiphany when we were talking about this. And one would wonder if they would approach Ethereum in the same way if indeed Ethereum became as big as it currently is, but rather as big as it is in more mainstream aspects. So if crypto continues to grow and we need that blockchain, and Ethereum is still the largest, would DOJ claim a monopoly and go after the Ethereum Foundation? I think the answer is yes. And then the question is, what's a strong second or third? Because what they will do is they will throttle Ethereum and enforce that a second or third get propped up. Is Solana it? What do you think?
That's what it's looking to be. That yeah, it's looking to be that Solana. They're trying to put Solana rumors of Solana ETF out there. Solana to me is manipulated. When things goes down, the price still holds up. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, definitely wouldn't be surprised. I'd be disappointed. I still believe in Ethereum. Ethereum is still more secured. Solana, it's up there, but uh, it still needs some work, definitely. But who knows? It's all about whoever has the money and whoever is they choose. And looks like right now Solana is the flavor, and it's been going on for the past couple of years. I mean, you have other competitors like AVAX and other chains, but yeah, there's a lot of investors riding with Solana.
Yeah, I agree. I think the only thing that Solana has to be concerned about is the fact that it keeps crashing. Now, we haven't had a significant crash for Solana in some time,
Yep.
but let's hope they get that worked out, because you cannot have a financial system back on a backbone that crashes occasionally.
Yes.
And if you recall, Ethereum had some of the similar problems on Ethereum. I guess they're calling it Classic now, but V1, and it was CryptoKitties that brought it down. Now, I feel like talking about our parlay into airdrops, we saw something like that today. One of the big airdrops that was released today was Answer Combat.
Yeah.
Answer Combat. And of course, it was on the Ton network. So a lot of chatter in Twitter saying, well, maybe it was a ploy. Maybe it was a way for them to prevent a massive sell-off. The reality is you can't even buy Ton on the Ton network. It has nothing to do with Hamster. And it seems as though, and I sent you a message from one of the providers, one of the on-ramps, which is actually big one. We were talking about them during our last podcast, Mercurio, and they had said, "Well, our apologies. We see that it is in transaction. It is in the process." They initially said normally it's 30 seconds, then it was 2 hours, and now it's 12 hours for that
Mm-hmm.
transaction to occur. Long and short,
Yeah.
there, folks, we may have just seen another crypto kitty taking down another backbone, another layer one.
Yeah, I mean, I was, I'm still bullish on ton, but yeah, I didn't really get a chance to deep dive, but something was telling me is like, okay, how is this chain built? Uh, and now this happens where, I mean, you would think they would do some type of like stress tests on like their, I don't know, test net, and but in what just happened today is the most ambitious, the biggest airdrop in history in crypto, and this happened. So I mean, you're looking at the chart today. I mean, it's gradually like going down. I mean, that was to be expected, but yeah, it's gradually going down. It wasn't like a sharp drop as some of these airdrops or some of these other crypto, these coins would happen. But yeah, that was my thing when I messaged you. I said, man, I feel like this is kind of like they're doing this on purpose, where just kind of slowing down uh, the sell off. But yeah, but you not getting the ton right away. Yeah, it's not like a really. Hopefully they'll improve this. But I'm okay. I mean, I didn't really put money into it. The only thing I invested was time in the game. Um, at this point, I'm not gonna sell. I was telling you, is like, okay, depending on what the charts shows, I might take some profit. But I think I'm bullish on Hamster. They might have a surprise, and it's really right now at this point it's not worth selling, taking any profits, to be honest. So I'm just gonna hodl, and maybe just wait for the, when the bull market is here, and this can be pretty significant. Um, Other airdrops that I've experienced myself, for example, Jupiter, is an exchange for Solana. The all-time high was around $2. That was pretty good. I had an airdrop of 200 just to have a Phantom wallet. Just I didn't even do anything. It was just because I was a holder of Solana, and yeah, I got that. Uniswap, when Uniswap had the airdrop of I think it was at $7 at one point at this all-time high.
Well, let's talk about
Oh no, I'm
that.
sorry,
So
$44.
I
$44.
think so. Maybe we start square one though. So what is an airdrop, right?
Yes, yes.
And let's pull this up here. And Brawnz had mentioned that he's already been involved in some airdrops, and so have I as well. And in fact, Brawnz and I were actually part of a project that's where we ourselves performed an airdrop, for our holders, for our investors. So there's many different types of airdrops: standard airdrops, holder airdrops, exclusive airdrops, right? And what what crypto well, Crypto Kitty was more or less as a game. It wasn't more like a airdrop, whereas Hamster Combat was rewarding you to perform tasks. And you see a lot of airdrops doing this as of late, even really several years back. But let's get to the very basics here. What is an airdrop?
What is an airdrop? Airdrops are literally when a developer of a crypto platform gives out free tokens or coins. You may be wondering what the purpose of this is. Well, it's essentially a form of advertising and to spread the use of the coin. In short, developers want people to see that the coin has been added to their account for free and then hopefully try out their coin. Sometimes, however, these airdrops are used to reward early adopters of an application or protocol. In fact, Uniswap did just this. If you don't know what Uniswap is, we actually
Right, and they're using Uniswap airdrop as an example. Now, Uniswap, if you guys are not aware, it's a decentralized exchange. And before they went live, they had to get some funding for their project. And this is exactly why airdrops occur. Now, I feel like Hamster Combat was a little bit different because they were actually making money during the airdrop based off of their revenues that were
streams.
all of us were making for them. It was brilliant. In fact, it allowed us to interact as well as a community on a level that I've never seen before, which was surprising to me. And I love the interface with it in TG or in Telegram. So absolutely unique. They nailed it. I just don't think that the Ton or the other network, TON, was able to support the amount of transactions that needs to occur for this massive airdrop. So, but let's get back into a little bit more of the basics here. So they're going to give us an example of this, a little bit more of a deep dive. Uniswap airdrop. Here's the rundown.
We have an entire video explaining what it is and how it works. But in short, they are a platform that allows you to exchange any Ethereum token for any other Ethereum token. Right now, they are the largest decentralized exchange by total value locked in their liquidity pool. Anyways, back in early 2018, Uniswap launched and allowed users to start swapping their tokens. Now, you should know that Uniswap was actually a centralized application in the beginning. They had a headquarters and they payrolled developers and stuff like that. Well, being in the crypto space, they wanted a way for their company to become more decentralized. To do this, they created a Uniswap token that was specifically used to vote on certain changes to the platform. This way, the token holders, which are actually the investors, could vote on protocol changes, instead of having one person make all the decisions. But why in the world would they sell their tokens? What if nobody wanted their token? This is where the airdrop came in. Uniswap gave every wallet address that interacted with their application around 400 Uni tokens. At the time, this was worth around $1,000. Imagine getting a free $1,000 for trying out an application. For those that held their token, they are now worth around $8,000. To understand how they did this, you need to know some technicality.
Right. So that's it, right? So you have a lot of folks that are right now selling Hamster Combat as an example because it's one of the largest that's going on at this very moment. And it's on a slow decline. And in part, mostly I think because you have all of the transactions occurring on centralized exchanges, Binance, etc., crypto.com. But anything that is currently decentralized, such as the Ton wallet or Ton Keeper, right now we're in a holding pattern anyways. Can't do anything if we wanted to. But I think to Brawnz's point, when you start to take a look at what the future brings and you take a look at the roadmap, are you going to be a believer? Are you a holder? And is this an opportunity for you to double down and maybe get some of your own money in on the action and let it sit? That's, I think, what they're hoping for.
Yes.
We'll have to see how that plays out.
Yeah, it's all gonna come down to the games. I mean, the games that we were playing, it was pretty rudimentary, but I am bullish. They have partners. I mean, the name is out there. It's just gonna be a matter of time. They can only go up from here. It's not gonna get worse. Yeah, we'll just need to see better games, compelling games that even where people is not even motivated just to earn coins, Hamster is just because they straight up have fun. I mean, right now in the traditional gaming market. I mean, people are shelling out to play the game because it's fun. They're not receiving anything else but just the enjoyment, the gratification in playing. So if they can hit that, where I mean, a simple game on your phone where you can just do it between groceries, it's fun, and then before you know it, you have you're earning. That'll be the side effect. Uh, yeah, so that's. But there's a lot of potential. A lot of they have a lot of revenue streams coming, and that is very bullish because not a lot of these crypto projects are sustainable. Hamster Combat has the model to be sustainable, and I'm bullish.
Well,
so
shoot, if they could get the network to be stable.
yes, yeah.
So we'll have to see. Maybe what we'll see is we'll see Hamster Combat on Ethereum moving forward. Who knows?
Oh,
Ooh, boom. But getting back to some of the basics here, so let's talk more about how it works.
First, Uniswap is an application run by smart contracts. Secondly, these smart contracts are out there for anyone to look at. So to do the airdrop, they literally just made a list of every wallet that interacted with their smart contract and then just sent them free Uni tokens. And one more thing, this is actually called a retroactive airdrop because Uniswap looked back in the past and made a list of wallets instead of using their current list of wallets that are using their exchange. They did this on purpose. They only wanted to reward the early adopters and the testers of the platform. Now, a lot of times this happens with governance tokens. These platforms want to give the community a way to vote on future changes in a fair way. In other words, they need to reward early adopters and not random users. Another form of an airdrop is very similar to how an email lead magnet works. In the marketing world, email lead magnets are a simple idea where you give something out for free in turn for a customer's email. For example, we could give you access to our Discord, and all you would have to do is give us your email. Long term, we might want your email so that we can advertise our future paid products to you. This is the reason that some companies might airdrop you a bit of their token for your email address. In reality, bad approach. Retroactive is the way to go. And if you think about it, this is exactly what Hamster Combat did. They said, come join our community. Go ahead and attach your wallet. We'll go ahead and get you. But in the meantime, we need to monitor your activity. You're going to go ahead and monitor your activity. They're going to monitor your activity through your actions, through the ads that you're watching, through the games that you're playing, through the mining that is done. And as they continue to monitor it, what they're starting to identify is anyone that is trying to circumvent the rules of their platform or of their project, and they're weeding out all those that are not abiding by the rules. Let's call them the cheaters, and keeping those that are really making sure that there is true value in the time spent in the space. So retroactive is a way to go. Collecting emails so that you can pay for in the future. It's not liquid. It's not live. It's a potential that may never pay out. So this is one more reason why, as an example, Hamster Combat is doing it right. Now, Brawnz, you and I talked about the cheaters months ago, even when we started that, getting involved in that project. And, the thought was, well, how do you prevent that? Well, they identified it through several different methods, and man, they cut them right off at the knees. They just didn't tolerate it. Now, I personally, as someone who has spent time investing into it, time invested into the project, I say I'm all for it. However, there's a lot of FUD that's being spread because of that. A lot of folks saying, well, I didn't do it. But there's a lot of folks in prison, though, that are also saying the same thing. Wasn't me. I'm innocent. So I think that proof's in the pudding. I think that they did it right. What do you think? Do you think they should have maybe found some middle ground? Or did they do it right by just cutting them off?
Yeah, I think they did. It basically showed, gave it a lesson. Look, there's so many scammers out there, especially in the world of Telegram. It basically kind of sets the tone. don't try it. So shout out to the honest people that put in the grinding. It's like me and Texan Whale. We did. But I did see some of these influencers. Some of them stopped playing the game, but since they had a big network, people was using their referrals. So man, even though they didn't play as much as we did, they made a pretty decent amount of airdrop hamster coins because of their referral network. I don't think that's cheating, but it's just because they're scaled up and they had a wide audience. But either way, um, whether you actually played the game or you did the referrals, as long as you didn't cheat. There was some Telegram groups that was giving out these codes where you can achieve to get the keys. And I was just like, okay, I just turned away. I mean, I wasn't even tempted for a second because I know they could find out, that you were using those generated keys, and they did.
Yeah. And they did. And it's just so you guys know, if you haven't played this or haven't gotten involved in the space, keys are generated based off of games that you played. Those games that you played, they have in-ad, or you can choose to pay to get ad-free. One way or the other, you're paying for it. You're paying for it with either your time, or you're paying by watching, or you're paying, well, just with your cold hard cash and generating keys quicker. But what I love about it is they limited it. You can only get up to 4 keys per day per game, and their game collection is growing. Now, they talk about what's coming in season 2, and these games were all native to them. They had 0 partners, according to what they're saying for the roadmap. And now what they're looking to do is, in the future, they're looking to incorporate third-party gaming into it and allowing them to join into the community so that we have a better variety overall. I think that that's an excellent idea. And then what they're also doing is they're looking to have larger communities. So within the games, they have team building. So you will join a particular team. You will try to accrue points to battle each other out. I love it. There is a clear path for this. And I think that that is something that needs to be considered when you consider that most airdrops are of the latter, which is not the retroactive airdrop like Uniswap, but some of the other ones where there is a potential. The fact of the matter is, we've seen the potential that this has. Again, we just need ton to remain stable.
Growing pains. I mean, ton is still new. I mean, it's been around, but yeah, it's never been battle tested. So this is, I believe,
tested. Love it.
Yeah, I believe that they're gonna improve on the network. And I mean, they have to. If they want to make their ecosystem a success, they will. They'll have to. But I just thought about this, Texan Whale, about when playing the games. It's either you're gonna pay either way, either through your time or your or paying to take out the ads. What if instead of paying, you can either have the option to use fiat or hamster to take out the ads to play?
Yeah. And there it is. And if you think about it, they're halfway there. Now, the concern is, at least here in the States, we do not have a TG wallet. So a TG wallet is not regulated. So we don't have that ability for fiat. However, if Telegram starts to play the same game that Elon is attempting to do with Twitter, and he buys the money transfer licenses between states, that's where it would be massive. I think that realistically, if I was Elon Musk, I'd be paying attention to this project because what we want here in the States is exactly what we're seeing here and what you spoke to, which was, Brawnz, you could either use the US dollar, fiat, or you could use the crypto token, in this case, hamster. Honestly, I feel like that's exactly what the future is for Twitter. Sorry, X. And I think that that's exactly what he's looking to accomplish. So one would argue this is the future. I suppose maybe it's just a fad, just like the internet. We'll have to see.
Okay. Before we sign off, that just gave me an epiphany. Yeah, because we know that he's working on a payment system on Twitter. He already has like the video streaming, component. And then he's building Grok with his AI.
Yeah.
Now the next step is gaming on X.
Gaming, money transfer. You have a built-in bank on X that you could transfer between everyone here in the States. Eventually, it would be the world. But if you can get all of the states on board, it's like the game of Monopoly. You get that row of colors, then you can move on to the next row of colors. And if you can he's starting with Park Place and Boardwalk, Elon. And he's then going to grow it out from there. I think that it makes sense that you have this type of mechanism. I think that it makes sense that you have this type of interface. It's easy. You spoke to it the other day. Anyone can be doing what Hamster is doing, meaning your grandmother, your aunt, your uncle, my 5-year-old. My 5-year-old is playing Hamster Combat. Now, he's not really interacting like on a strategic level, but he's able to control it. And he understands at a basic level. And guess what? He thinks it's fun. And really, isn't that what this is about? It's engaging that person in front of that glass to understand and engage and to make some money. So, I don't know, Brawnz. You want to hold?
I'm going to hold.
You're going to hold. I'm going to hold too. In fact, I'll probably buy a few. Maybe more than a few. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, Brawnz, what do you say? Any last words for these fine folks out there?
Do your research. Big things are coming. Big things are coming. Bull market is on its way. Get ready for the ride.
Get ready for the ride. Love it. Absolutely. I think that there's a lot of things that are coming. We have a lot of things in the space that are positive right now. I think we've identified our new bottom. Our new bottom appears to be in the 50s. Call it 52. I think that we need to pay attention to where the U.S. elections are going to end up in November. I think it's important to pay attention to the metrics. I think it's important to pay attention to the SAM rule. I think it's important to understand whether or not we're going to be going into recession. I think it's also important to understand if Bitcoin is, what did you say earlier, battle tested? And battle tested means truly this. It means that if a recession hits, is it as good as gold? Guess what, folks? We may find out. We may find out.
Did you see Terminator when he turned his back to protect Connor from the T-1000?
There it is. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, Brawnz. Thank you for joining, of course, as always. And thank you guys out there for joining us. This is one of our last. We may have one or two, but I got a third son on the way, and my wife is about ready to, she's ready. Let me put it that way. And so are we. And we're going to need to spend some time as that approaches. But Maybe we have a presidential one. Maybe we have a Christmas
Yeah.
one. Maybe New
There you go.
Year's. We'll definitely see you
Yeah.
around. We'll be right back. We're not going anywhere there, folks. And we do appreciate you guys as always. We'll see you around.